Hello YouTubers, and welcome back to Go Figure Customs YouTube channel. Hopefully you got a chance to watch our video podcast on general geekery, which I'm hosting on this channel. My buddy JD and I reviewed Star Trek Picard. We've been doing that podcast off and on for about 8 years now, and we've decided to kind of take it up a notch, even though we are technically incompetent morons, by moving it to a video. So that's kind of a new technology for us, so bear with us as we work out the bugs on that as well. It took us a long time to get the podcast to where it was something that was listenable. Listenable, is that a word? I don't even know. So give us a little while to get the video podcast up and running. Our audio podcast, we've traditionally had guests on, so we'll probably look into that in the future as well. Of course, comment, share, like, but mostly comment to let us know if you like the podcast and to let us know what you'd like to see on the video podcast. And the puppy has come to see me. Hello here. Hopefully everybody's doing okay with the pandemic and quarantine. I am still stuck at home. I should be in Africa working right now, but I can't get out of the country. And even if I could, I couldn't get into Africa. And my back-to-back can't get out of Africa. So he is stuck on an oil rig off the coast of Equatorial Guinea for God knows how long. But today I'm going to try and help alleviate that boredom by giving, I've got a lot for you today actually, because I've already recorded a video on, for the customizers on review on primers. So that should already be up, hopefully by now. It isn't at the time of this recording, but hopefully that'll be up soon. Well, like I said, hopefully it'll be up by the time you're watching this. I got my Kickstarter for my for Boss Fight, Mighty Steeds, and so I'm going to review that. I don't have all the parts right with me right here, so I'm going to set that aside. We're going to come back to that. I did record a two episodes on reviewing the Joytoy mechs. I think I'm going to reshoot that and kind of do a side-by-side comparison all at one time, because I have one of the 1/24th scale ones and one of the 1/18th scale ones, and they are both cool in their own ways, and they both have their faults in their own way too. So I thought I'd do like a head-to-head comparison. So I'm going to reshoot that probably today. So I've got that coming. And then for you today, right now, let me get one more thing. I have this X-Acto knife. What are we going to do with this X-Acto knife? Well, the X-Acto knife isn't what came today. What came today was FedEx from China. Ooh, does it have coronavirus? Is this coronavirus? Is it dead bats or dead snakes that we're going to eat raw? Probably not. The weirdest thing I've eaten while deployed is goat. Had that in Africa and Sierra Leone. Wasn't too bad. It was a little greasy, a little chewy. But the site we were on, they weren't really feeding us, and a bunch of us chipped in and bought a goat from a local so we could have some fresh meat. Kind of tells you how bad it was. No, today, ooh, that's already open. I don't know if I like that. This is going to be a two-part video. So we've got the PLA Special Forces. I believe this, I should have, these have a specific, I think this is the force team. I don't know. It's kind of irritating that the box doesn't say which one it is. But anyway, 2 packages came today. Well, that one was open. This one was like double, triple sealed. Oh, I bet this was the one that has coronavirus on it. Again, I'm not too worried about catching it. I think there's a fairly decent possibility I've already had it. I didn't have it very bad. After doing what I've done for almost 25 years, I've got a fairly decent immune system. Was that 2 of the same? Uh-oh. I think I got 2 of the same set. I don't think that's what I was supposed to get. I think I was supposed to get one of the 3-man sets, and I was supposed to get one of the 5-man sets. Instead, I've got 2 of the 5-man sets. Ooh, I'm gonna have to look into that. So, anyway, surprise, 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 huh? Because I think that was supposed to be, boy, I don't know. Locker Toys' website is not as user-friendly as like Big Bad Toy Stores. So it's kind of hard to see what I've ordered and what's still on pre-order and what's shipped. It can be done, but it's just not as easy to use as Big Bad Toy Stores. But I like the fact that they get stuff sooner than Big Bad Toy Store, and I like the fact that it's a little bit cheaper even with the overseas shipping. All right, so figure number 1. I'm assuming these are, well, we've already seen the box, so you know, I review the box every time. Box is nice. They've started doing this nice artwork on the outside. I think they started that with the SEAL Team set, which is still probably one of my favorite sets because it's one of the only 6-man sets. So what do we got here? All the gear's already on it, which is kind of nice. Ooh, almost lost something there. There we go. I got a second set of the 3-man PLA Combat Marine guys in the mail a couple of days ago. I've already reviewed them on the channel, but they're still really cool. But one of the guys was missing a pistol, which really doesn't upset me too bad because some of the pistols don't tend to stay in the holsters very well. So I think I had planned on replacing them all at some point in time with pistols from Marauder Inc., which is a fantastic place to get 1/18 scale weapons and figures. I use their figures specifically for customs. So let's see, he comes with what looks like, basically it looks like a MP5 with a sight and a foregrip and a built-in suppressor. I like that weapon. That's a nice weapon there. Let's see if we can get a close-up of it there. Comes with like a carabiner, which is pretty cool because you can clip his weapon on. Doesn't look like there's any holes to clip it into, but I think it will just clip onto the stock. And then the carabiner will clip on somewhere. And then a pistol, it's a little smaller, a lot more detailed. It's going to be impossible to show you in this video, but the pistol's a lot more detailed than the ones that had been coming with them. I think it might be the same one that came with like the first PLA set, which is a lot slimmer. But guess what? It still doesn't fit very well in the holsters, which is annoying. Well, no, it goes in there. Yeah, it goes in there all right. So we've got the body armor. It's a new body armor. The detail on the sculpt is fantastic. It's a lot more detail. I'm not sure if it's a newer vest compared to the PLA guys. Hang on a sec, because I've got both teams here. The thigh pad is got a pouch, and then we've got a pistol rig on the other one. We got a carabiner on the right side, a carabiner on the left. Radio sculpted on. He's got kind of a schmog scarf, which is detachable. No interchangeable head with this particular guy. I don't think these guys have interchangeable heads, but the carabiner clips right onto the front. And then I'm going to give him his gun. The joints all seem decent. Clearly, I'm not heating these up like I had recommended in my first video, because it's just not warranted. They have made major improvements in these figures since the first ones. The crotch is still not where I'd like it for them to sit down, because you can see when his legs are in the sitting position, he's still kind of wide in the crotch area, and you can hear the dog in the background. At least she's not barking at stuff. But the rest of the articulation is fantastic. These look kind of like new hands. They're very like tactical gloves. They're very nice. Coming to you from the deck of the flag. This makes an awesome display. And there's figure one. Let's get one of the other figures, a figure from each of the other sets, and see if that's a new vest. Where's the PLA guys? That looks like compared to the 5-man set, that looks like a new vest. And it's definitely new compared to the previous 3-man PLA set. So, I'm going to say that's a new vest right there. All right, so that's figure one. Of course, it comes with a fantastic tube, which you can put your figure on, invert the lid, and becomes a nice display case. Here, let's put him on there just for shits and giggles. If I was just like strictly collecting these guys, I'd probably get some more of these and keep all of my guys in this and make a very awesome display out of it. Because they stack too, which I've mentioned in previous videos. So we'll just set figure one aside there. Try not to get the reflection on the light. There we go. All right. The boxes aren't labeled anymore. I think they stopped doing that with the SEAL Team set. So it used to be figure A, B, C, D. They aren't doing that anymore. All the boxes are the same. The fifth box, sixth box is usually different. That's the one that has like extra weapons and joints. But it looks the same on this one. All right, figure two. Again, nice display, and see, like I said, they can become stackable, which is fantastic. I have a big tub of these because I haven't decided what I'm going to do with them. Because I would use them for my customs, but as you can see behind me, I card all of my customs now. My customs that aren't carded are behind the camera here on the deck of the flag until the printer opens again and I can get more cards printed. Once I get more cards printed, then we'll be carding those figures, because I've got cards made for most of my customs that I've finished recently. Find the lip here. The puppy has settled down behind me. All right, where'd my X-Acto knife go? Because I can't find the edge here. All right, figure two. All right, I'm gonna say it's almost identical to the figure A. Figure A has a mustache painted on his face. This one does not. I think it's the same head sculpt though, just without the mustache. Well, I like the wrist, wraps. It's very reminiscent of version 1 Storm Shadow. These would make a very cool, like, modern Storm Shadow figure. All right, pistol, all the same stuff. It's the same buck, it's the same paint job, it's the same vest. The weapon is different. It's a shorter MP5 without the built-in silencer. Still comes with the carabiner, which is nice, which clips on there. And then the smaller MP5. I like the design of this gun. I've always liked how the HK MP5s look. I've used them extensively in my customs over the years, from BBI and Marauder Inc. So even though they're only 9mm weapons, I still really like how they look. Hey, if it's good enough for the Germans, right? German engineering. All right, so nothing different on him compared to the figure A, other than the primary. Then his rifle is different, and he doesn't have a mustache. Because I think the head sculpt is even the same on this. My flag's probably a little uneven after all these years. There we go. I'm going to set him right there. So that's figure 2. Pretty much the same as figure 1, just a different weapon and no mustache. I think a couple of these guys come with backpacks. Let's see, where did I put that case? I want to try and not make a huge mess here today. So there it is, the case for him. Oh yeah, speak of the devil. There's a backpack. Oh, the instructions that come with him. Let's see. Nice picture of the set of guys. It is a 5-man team. The usual English can be assembled. Accessories: belt, bulletproof vest, leg armor, guns, daggers. Players can match. Translation: everything's interchangeable on this. Everything's designed to come off. And my other dog wants attention now. One of my other dogs. Hi, Isabella. So everything's designed to come off. The leg pouches, the guns, the bulletproof vests, the heads are interchangeable. Everything's designed to be interchangeable. Even you can even take the legs apart. You know, the leg, because the joints will, if you heat them up, you can pop them off. So I mean, you can very easily swap forearms and lower legs and shoulders. So I mean, they're insanely customizable. They do make 3 of them blank kits, so no paint on them, fully accessorized, and they come completely disassembled. And I did get one. I haven't painted it, and I'm in the middle of putting it together. Let's see. It also says precautions: stay away from fire. I think that's good advice in general. I think, you know, it's nice to get some healthy life advice from your toys. Do not play with violence. The leg armor can be removed from the knee joints. The joints need to be inserted and pulled after being heated by a blower. Insert obligatory dick joke here. Accessories such as accidentally dropped when playing can be attached with 502 glue. It is more convenient to wear and take off the accessories after heating. I would agree with that. So their translation there is, if you're going to swap stuff out, heat it up. You don't need to heat it up to play with it. Some of the original figures really needed to kind of heat them up. At least some of the first wave of figures did need to be heated up so that you would not break joints. They have improved that since long time running now. So that's not an issue, but if you are going to swap stuff out, it is easier to do it by heating them up. All right, figure number 3. Ooh, he comes with a bunch of stuff. He's got a backpack here. I love how they do these backpacks. This is how G.I. Joe backpack should have done, because we've got working straps. I don't know why it took 40 years for that to be a thing. We've got 2 attachment points. I'm not real fond of these attachment points because they're glued on. I've broken a couple of these off, so be careful with these. Like they said, you know, heat stuff up if you're gonna swap out accessories. You don't have to heat these up, but it's probably not a bad idea. Just be aware that these are gonna these tend to break off, but it's like the English in the instructions said, if they break off, super glue it back on, you'll be fine. We've got a nice little entrenching tool here. I'm going to put that on his backpack now. Ooh, hey, look at that. All right. It's not one solid piece of plastic. It has a joint. So it can be fully extended, partially extended, or closed. That's cool. I've never seen an articulated entrenching tool before. So I'm going to close it and attach it to his backpack. Same vest as the other guys, it looks like. The belt looks like the same. Thigh pads the same. Holsters the same. Pistols the same. I'm going to put the pistol in there so we don't lose it. Different head sculpt. He's got some headphones, headphones that are sculpted on. They are not removable. He does have a little microphone here. Oh no, it looks like is it sculpted on? I can't tell. Yeah, it's part of the head. They did it in such a way that it looks like the sculpt is coming off, but it is fully attached to the face. Now he's got a scarf as well. He does not have the wrist wraps on his arms like the other two guys do. Does have a carabiner. Oh, let's do his backpack. So to get the backpack on, I think the easiest way to do it is to turn his arms backwards and face the elbows in a little bit. And actually, I'm going to take the shovel off. And this probably would, here, let's actually bend the arms down and get them in the straps. So these straps are a little stiff, so it probably wouldn't hurt to heat these up a little bit, because I did have a backpack strap that broke. I just glued it and it was fine. There we go. So yeah, to get his backpack on, arms back, bend the elbows, arms straight down, and then get each arm in, and then yeah, it fits on there. Fantastic. I'm going to put his entrenching tool back on. There we go. Carabiner again. He's got a different carabiner up front, it looks like, than the other guys. Oh no, his belt's just on weird, just on differently. I like how it's got enough gear on his belt that if it's like just turned around, it looks like a completely different piece of equipment. I think that's a good sign that they've really put a lot of detail into their work, is that like it's on there. It's the same piece of equipment that everybody else has. It's just the fact that it's rotated 3/4 of the way, and it makes it look like a completely different piece. And I just dropped his carabiner because I felt it hit my leg on the way down. There it is. The dogs are going crazy upstairs. So, all right. Yeah, be careful with those carabiners. That is going to be a very easily lost part. At some point in time, I'd really like to see them do an weapon. This looks more like I don't know if that's a GS30. I'm familiar with the weapon, but I can't quite place it right off the top of my head. Scope, foregrip. But very nicely detailed, good paint job. but different than the other two, which is nice. There is a little bit of shoulder hindrance because of the straps, but they don't get in the way too much. He can still hold his weapon just fine. Anyway, I was going to say I would like to see them do an accessory pack at some time with carabiners, all the different guns, and the backpacks and the scarves. That would not go amiss. So that was figure 3. We'll see what figure 4 has in store for us here. Oh, jeez. Got another one that's got a backpack there. So yeah, I usually review the packaging, and I mentioned that it's just the same, just different artwork. And then playability, obviously that doesn't change. These things are highly playable, and customizability is usually the other thing I review when I review new figures. And these are, like I mentioned earlier, you can swap everything out on them just because of the way the joints are in there. You just heat these up and everything will pop off. So the customizability, even if you didn't want to paint anything, is still insane if you have enough of these guys. All right, so what do we got here? I don't think this guy's wearing a shirt. He's just wearing body armor. Kinky. Schmog, he's got it's definitely a new head sculpt with the shaped head around the top. Different pouch, leg pouch than the other. No, he's got a different pouch than the second guy. The second guy and the fourth guy have the same pouch. The third and the first have the same pouch. I didn't notice that. All right, so we got a pistol. Same pistol. When you put your pistol in these holsters, put a finger underneath the holster before pressing down. So give equal pressure from both sides. If you just push the pistol in, these things are tight enough, you're going to push the holster off. You're going to pull it right off. I did that on one of my figures. I think one of the 3-man PLA sets. I pulled the holster off the second I got it out of the package. Trying to push the pistol in. Again, super glue and you're good to go. All right, joints are a little stiff on him. All right. Ooh, yeah, his upper arms are really stiff, and those are flesh colored, so I don't have any extra flesh colored joints. If I break, oh, I probably do. I could probably swap them off for my mech pilot. All right, so arms back, elbows in. Kind of the handcuff position almost. No, that didn't work. Arms down. There, that works better. And then just kind of wedge. The backpack is the same. There's no difference. The paint job, I think it's a lighter color. Maybe not. Just the lighting in here. All right. Ooh, that's kind of pulling there. That needs to get over his body armor. There we go. So just a reminder, if you haven't seen the other videos on the backpack, the straps are not sculpted. They're not one piece with the backpack, so it's not one sculpt. The straps are separate and they're glued in at the top and the bottom. So the potential does exist for you to pop a strap out. Like I said, the way they've designed these, they will go back together very easily with some super glue. We've already gotten the, I just dropped his carabiner, and that may have gone into a different dimension because I did not feel that and I did not see it go. Yeah. Oh, nope, it's on my leg. There we go. All right. So yeah, definitely gonna have to be careful with your carabiners, so you don't lose them. Yeah, doesn't want to get in there. They are really soft plastic, so it's kind of hard to force it in there. There we go. Pretty cool. Yeah, I would love to have a dozen of those just for one specific custom for another one of my Polar Mountain Strikers. All right, he also comes with one of the throwing hatchets. It's not a new accessory. Those have been in the line for a while now. Actually, maybe even since the first wave, because I think one of the Marine guys came with one. I'm going to peg it onto his backpack. And then the weapon he comes with is a saw. I think it looks like a different sculpt than the saws that have previously been in their waves. I like it a little better than the other ones. So I think that's a new sculpt for the heavy machine gun, which is nice because I didn't like the other ones. Anybody that had a saw from the other waves in my collection all got one from one of the BBI guns, because those are very nice. All right. Backpacks do make them a little top heavy. And then of course it doesn't help that my flag is not level probably after 35 years or so. All right, that's 4 figures. Let's see what 5th figure is. And then the 6th box should be accessories. I think it's interesting in the fact that I have no idea what's in what box, and I still managed to make the accessory box the last box that I opened. I couldn't have done that if I tried. More tubes for the collection. All right. Oop, he's got stuff in there that didn't come out. Always check your bags to make sure you don't have loose accessories. Like I said, I didn't get a pistol with one of my guys, which, like I said, it's not a big deal to me because I'm going to replace them anyway. But I almost threw away a pistol because it was still in the little wrapper and I didn't notice it. All right, so he's got the same thigh pouch as figures 1 and 3, but he has a completely different thigh rig on his left leg because it has the pouch of figures 2 and 4 next to his holster. So he has both thigh pouches. He must be the leader, huh? Okay, putting his pistol in there. Like I said, push pressure from both directions, otherwise you're gonna pull your holster off. And that still doesn't go in there very well. Different head sculpt than the other 4 guys. Vest is the same, belt is the same. And then he has a nice tactical shotgun there. Very nice. The detail is really nice. He's got some shells, so you can't see it. Shells sculpted onto the left side of the right next to the breech, which is pretty cool. These guys are a little stiff. I hadn't been recommending heating these up, but if they're stiff, I might heat them up just a little bit, just to be sure. All right, shotgun looks pretty cool. Oh, and then you got a carabiner, of course. Let's not lose this carabiner. There we go. And you get the tactical shotgun. And there's your 5 guys for the PLA Field Forces set. 6 box, should be accessories and joints. So let's see. Usually they give us 2 or 3 extra guns and then a smattering of joints, extra joints. I have not, I think out of all of the Joytoy figures that I've had so far, I've had 2 joints break. So I still highly recommend them. So what do we got here? No extra weapons, unfortunately, but there are 2 shoulder joints, 2 elbow joints that are flesh colored. The rest are the black joints. And then closed fists are your extra hands. So nothing too exciting. It's always nice to have extra joints, though. I haven't needed mine. I save them. I put them aside just in case. But I haven't needed them, so. All right, these guys are fantastic. I love these guys. You know, it's still the same sculpt as far as a buck, except the guy without a shirt, but the mech pilot, which you'll see in another video, is also shirtless, so it's not. And then one of the individual figures, the South African guy, came without a shirt. So, I mean, it's not a new sculpt. I am just amazed what they can do with just different paint jobs on the same buck. I think that speaks highly to, number one, what they're doing, and number two, just painting in general. It just goes to show you that with a little bit of accessories, a little bit of imagination, and a little bit of paint, you can make the same figure look like any number of different figures. This is, I've lost track of what wave and what set this is. I couldn't even tell you without looking behind me to count the different waves, because I've got them all set up on my other flag behind me, which, well, not all of them. I've got the PLA guys, some of the PLA guys on. I got a G.I. Joe General when I got home. It's got a hell of a price for it. I'm using it as a mobile mech bay. So I've got some of the PLA guys over there. These guys might join them just because I'm running out of deck space on the flag. I got that many Joytoy guys. So do I recommend these guys? Absolutely. New vests, new head sculpts, new weapons. This is definitely, you could use these as like private military contractors. Nobody's wearing patches, so they're not identifiable to any nation, which is nice. So that also could make for a nice special forces team. So this could be like a Delta squad, or it could be a SEAL team. Anything that your imagination wants them to be, because they are kind of in civilian attire, but have all the special forces gear with them. So yes, I highly recommend these. I think they are fantastic. I don't recall what the price was. I got these from Locker Toys. Locker Toys is still able to get stuff into America, even with the difficulty due to the coronavirus. I'm not too concerned about getting the coronavirus off of a package. I'm just not. And then, yeah, it looks like I got a second set of these guys. I think they screwed up my order. I'm gonna have to look at that because that means that there's 3 guys that I didn't get. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's another set of the 5 guys. I'm not gonna complain because I don't think I ordered 2 sets of these. Accessories. See, I couldn't have done that again. I couldn't have opened all 6 boxes and the accessories bin the last box I opened. Yep, I mean, it shouldn't, the box is identical, so there's no reason that it wouldn't be the same set of guys. So, well, yay that I have 2 sets of these guys now. Boo that I don't have a second set to review for you because I was expecting one of the 3-man sets. So I'm going to have to look into that. But thank you for watching. Comment below, share, subscribe to the channel for more reviews. Stay tuned because I do have a whole bunch of other stuff coming up to help keep you entertained while you are stuck at home with the coronavirus. Hope you stay safe and healthy in the meantime, and see you soon.